Yo guys, Theo here. A little annoyed, or not really annoyed, but I did record this video yesterday already, but I noticed I accidentally put on some slow-mo function, so it was 8 times as long, like so 12.5% speed, and yeah, no sound. And yeah, I guess it's a function more for people who do snowboarding and shit, which I do, by the way. It just was some time ago. I'm pretty good at it. Yeah, but so let's do it again. Today we're talking about my 2-year transformation. So I will basically, I've told the story or parts of it many times. I will basically go through it, how it all began. So if you don't know, if you're new to the channel, long story short, after years of just drinking every weekend, not training, not working out, eating like shit, pizza, microwave food and stuff, I hit the wall, started having panic attacks. The first step to recovery from that was to actually confront the panic attacks, go face the situation I got panic in. When I finally started mastering the attacks and stopped them from happening, was still very stressed and overworked, but I noticed things are getting better. So what can I do? Well, I'll start training, I'll start eating better, because I've heard that's supposed to work. And I didn't know I was gonna end up being what I am today. I was basically just gonna, improve my habits. Anything would have been an improvement basically from where I was at. Then I kind of rediscovered that when I was almost, I guess, half as old as I am now. I'm 27. When I was like 13, 14, 15 there, I was really into training, building muscle, doing push-ups and stuff. And I really admired like these ripped guys, because I knew I wanted the abs. We called it stomach squares, magrutor in Swedish. I guess abs has always been kind of a big thing, but it was very trendy with the social media starting to appear and stuff. Yeah, it was big hype about the magrutor, and so I knew that it had a lot to do with fat, but I always struggled. I was a real sugar candy addict, so that's why I was impressed by it, and that's what I kind of noticed or rediscovered this interest when I started training again and eating better. So I started late July 2018 with the only thing I did, I had a pull-up bar, and I did negative pull-ups because I could do like 2 pull-ups, and I thought it was too little, so I took a chair and just stood on it, went out with the feet and went down slowly, like 3 seconds. 5 sets of this, maybe 6 to 12 reps, somewhere there, was my full workout when I started. For 2 weeks I did this like every other day. I added in push-ups, and then after just a month or a little more, people started commenting on my physique improving, and this was, I could feel the difference within me. Just my energy, mood and everything was higher already after 2 weeks. And I ate like chicken, rice, broccoli, basically good old school bodybuilder diet before we knew you need more nutritious food than that. It will work. It's much better than the diet I was on, but it's a little nutrient weak, a little empty, not unhealthy, just a little empty. But it was way better, obviously, than what I was doing earlier. But so people started commenting. Like, I sing in a choir, and a friend behind me, like only a month in, he started feeling like my lats here and was like, yeah, you've made some gains already. And so I basically bulked there at the beginning, even though I didn't need to, because I weighed like at least 6 or 7 kilos more than now, and with way less muscle. So obviously a lot of fat to spare, but I did bulk because I wanted to get stronger. It did work. Started being able to do normal pull-ups and push-ups. 2 months of this, I started the keto diet to lose some fat. At first I did not count calories, I just ate very low carb and walked a lot, and it started flying off. And my plan was to cut off and keep training at home so that I could start going to the gym in 2019. And I was also preparing myself by watching a lot of YouTube videos, Athlean X, guys like that, just so that I knew what I was gonna do when I get to the gym, because I had basically, before this, I could count on one hand the times I had stepped inside the gym. I had been doing some training in different forms, but just not in the gym much. But so I weighed like 83 kilos when I started all of this. I lost the fat and gained some muscle, and when I started going to the gym at the beginning of the year, I was like 71.5 kilos. So pretty lean, still not as lean as I am now, and I weigh more now, 76 now. But yes, then I went off the keto diet and started bulking, doing push-pull legs basically in the gym, like training chest, shoulders and triceps together, back and biceps together, and legs together. Basically, that's what I did. Yeah, and I bulked on like a bodybuilder bulk, 6 meals a day, which I don't recommend at all anymore. I'm into the fasting, but it did work, obviously. I mean, I was in a caloric surplus, ate decent foods, hamburgers with like rice or potatoes, some greens in there, some granola that really screwed with my gut, I noticed, with all this added fiber in it, really messed me up. Protein powder, stuff like that. But so I bulked for like 3 months, put on like 8 kilos, I was up to 80 again. At that point I thought that maybe half was muscle. I think now I would be lucky if even half was muscle. But then I cut like a bodybuilder. Same routine, 6 meals a day, only a caloric deficit now instead. And I think this is absolutely awful. I've learned the hard way now. It worked. I did drop weight at first, but then it became really hard because I'm hungry and thinking about food all the time, and you don't, every time you eat, it's like 400 or 500 calories maximum, and it's always like an appetizer. But I did lose weight. I can put up a picture here, probably what I looked around the 1 year mark there, and it was almost 1 year ago now I found out about fasting. So to say something on about my training style in the gym, by the way, real quick. My style can kind of be summarized as power building. So it's powerlifting, doing the heavy compound lifts like deadlifts, squats, bench press, shoulder press, weighted chin-ups. I even though powerlifters don't really do that, it's kind of a heavy compound move. Stuff like that, combined with more bodybuilder work, like flies with cables and stuff like that, more isolated stuff. And that's still my training style, kind of. And yeah, so I found out about fasting meeting a Canadian guy that, he said he fasted because he thought there was many health benefits to it, but also because he was so poor growing up that they didn't have a choice sometimes. And this really made me think, like, man, I did not have a good upbringing in lots of ways, but the finance was never a problem. There was always food on the table, So I decided I have to try. I figured a 5-day fast will be a challenge but won't kill me, And then on the first day of this fast I found Cole Robinson and the snake diet, learned about the snake juice, drinking electrolytes, potassium and sodium on the fast. And during this fall, kind of my muscle progress was paused because I did all the fasting. I tried to figure out ways keep building muscle with the fasting, just using fasting as a means of shredding off the fat you put on along with the muscle in between. It did my strength. I took during this very heavy experiment period with a fasting where I did up to 5-day fast with snake juice lots of times, 48-hour fast, like I tried chaining them. For a month I ate every other day. I did a 3-day hard dry fast, so no food but no water, not even touching water. I did all this, and I took my deadlift 1 rep max from 160 kilos right when I started with the fasting to 200 kilos in December 2019. So I could still do the strength increases, but I noticed my muscle really didn't grow. I was very lean. I got leaner, and I was basically on this level, just less muscle. A lot. The fasting really taught me that, and this is where I learned the eat big, fast long mentality. Even if you don't do the prolonged fasting, you should do intermittent fasting, or at least low eating frequency. Eat big when you eat. And it's so natural to me now. I've never liked eating just a little. If I start eating, I want to eat till I'm happy, But so at the beginning of the year, I still did a lot of fasting and intermittent. I did very like small eating window, eating daily, like 3 hours a lot of the time, like eating, training, eating. That was my eating for the day. Got that in a 3-hour window or so. I really overtrained during this period. When I studied at the beginning of this year, 2020, to become a personal trainer, I overtrained because I did an upper-lower split then, so trained legs and some abs, and then upper body, chest, back, arms, shoulders, everything, you know. And the upper day was really too high volume, but especially, you know, in training school, I did all my regular training, plus the training we did, you know, training each other for practice, for education. And also I just moved a lot during that period. So really overtrained, really messed my shoulders up. I did have a shoulder injury I didn't mention here earlier in this the fall of 2019. I have videos about how I recovered from the shoulder. It was just one shoulder to begin with, but all my overtraining kind of messed up both of my shoulders. So in March, when I started working as a personal trainer, I decided I'm gonna try and pause from the prolonged fasting for a while. I'm gonna bulk on an intermittent fasting routine, 3 meals a day in an 8-hour eating window. I was so very active. This is when I started to find out about the thing that Cole of the Snake Diet has done recently too, that just lots of activity, moving around a lot, ramping up your metabolism with lots of food, but lots of activity too. This is where I really noticed how good this was. Even though I was doing so high volume on my cut, just checking the time there, even though I was doing so high volume on my bulk, I mean, I recovered so much better from it now, eating and moving so much, like just tuning this machine, this biological vehicle, the body, up to its maximum capacity. I put on a lot. I don't know exactly my weight when I started. It was something like 76 now, only a little more fat and a little less muscle. I got up to like, yeah, it was 81.5 fasted when I started cutting. And then you know the rest. I cut, if you've been watching the channel, I cut for 1 month. The first 10 days I did basically the majority of the cut, 5.5 kilos. I did maybe 4 during the first 10 days. Paused it for a bit, maintained, and then did 2 48-hour fasts. And here I am now, boom. So that's my 2-year natural transformation. I hope I could put some clips here. You know, I am so busy, guys. I put out videos every day. Even though I just talk to the camera like this, handling all these big files, it takes a lot of time. And I'm working a lot now. I will be working a lot this week. So we'll see, maybe I'm gonna have to take a pause from the daily videos, but I still upload as often as I can. I hope I had the time to put in some pictures and stuff along with me talking about it. So please, if you enjoyed this, please subscribe to the channel for more content about fitness, fasting, getting ripped, building muscle, healing yourself from spiritual trauma. You know, your parents, they messed you up. That's why you have all this anxiety and anger within you and aren't really happy with life. Yes, subscribe for that, more of that, and like the video to help me spread the channel. It's happening, guys. 1,000 and I can go live, and then for sure we'll be able to do this daily. All right, peace.